one of my all-time lows as being president of the UFC over the last 11 years. For the first time in 11 years, we're going to cancel an event. This Saturday's fight at Mandalay Bay is being canceled. Dan Henderson has a partial tear in his MCL and couldn't continue. He tried to train. He tried to continue to work out. He saw doctors, and there was nothing we could do to save that fight. So one of the things that you guys have heard me brag about a million times is how UFC doesn't have to cancel events. We can, we can always find a replacement. For somebody to fight John Jones on 8 days' notice is tough to do. But to be totally honest with you guys, one guy did. Not only when I called him did he say, I'll take the fight. He said, I'll fly to Las Vegas tonight and fight him. And that was Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen accepted the fight with John Jones, wanted the fight bad. So as of, 8, 9 o'clock last night, we had a fight. We here at the UFC started working, creating different commercials. PR started getting ready to crank up. I was going to do this call, and this was obviously going to be a much different call this morning. But the one thing that I never thought in a million years would happen, happened. John Jones said, I'm not fighting Chael Sonnen with 8 days' notice. Again, something that's never happened in UFC history. A guy who's a world champion and considered one of the pound-for-pound best turns down a fight. So that has never happened either. So right now what's happening is this fight is canceled, and we're moving. It'll be John Jones versus Lyoto Machida, Saturday, September 22nd, on the Toronto, Canada card at UFC 152.
Question for Dana. When you say that John Jones did not want to fight on short notice with Chael Sonnen, did he understand that if he did not take that fight, the event would be canceled? I mean, were all the options laid out there for him?
You know me. Believe me, I haven't slept at all last night. I've been up all night, and he's been hit with some options. He knows what the consequences were and what would happen.
And I mean, as far as the timeline of trying to get together potential replacements, I mean, did you talk to Machida about trying to do this short notice? Was his deal that he would do it, but only on a longer time frame, or what?
Well, no. Here's the thing: when it was going down and we were trying to make the fight, Machida was actually in the air, then landed somewhere for a connector flight to Brazil. He was already gone. He was already in the air. I can accept that. I can accept why Machida didn't take the fight. Completely different circumstances, completely different story. How about this? How about he sits down? When he and I talk, he says, I got to sit down and talk to my coaches. His coach, Greg Jackson, says, there's no way you take this fight. This fight. You don't take this fight on 8 days' notice. It would be the biggest mistake of your entire career. Wow. Chael Sonnen's a 185-pounder who wants to move up to 205, who hasn't trained a day for this fight, and the fight's in 8 days, yet he says he'll fly here tonight to fight the supposed pound-for-pound third-best fighter in the world, and the list goes on, the world champion, and you have so much, I mean, how much faith do you have in your champion and your guy? Now, I literally just bumped into Greg Jackson the other day, and I was kind of joking around about some of the things he said. I'll tell you what, I'll go on the record saying, this guy is a fucking sport killer, okay? This guy, I mean, this guy's from another planet. I've never even seen anything like it in my life.
And did John say, okay, I won't fight Chael, but if you get me this guy or that guy, was there any sort of negotiation on that front for next week's fight?
No. Oh. It's in John Jones' head that he didn't prepare for this guy, and I don't know, man. I don't know. In the history of the UFC, I mean, Tito's been the most difficult guy in the history of the company since I've been here, and Tito Ortiz did not take fights.
And just two last quick things. How do you think this affects John Jones' image right now? Because he's taken a lot of heat over the last 10 days or so for what he said about Machida. How do you think people will respond to him?
I don't know. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's great. The first fight ever canceled in UFC history since we've owned the company, and the first champion to ever turn down a match.
Did John specifically say he wasn't taking the fight because of that advice from Greg Jackson, or was that just one of the factors in his choice?
That is exactly why he didn't take the fight. Because even when I called Chael, I had to track him down. I guess his girlfriend's husband had a stroke, and his girlfriend's father had a stroke, and he was wherever that guy lives. You know, fighting John Jones was the last thing on his mind. It blew him away when I called him. John Jones has been one of these guys who, you know, as much as you know, he's won and all the things that he's accomplished in a short amount of time. Like he burst onto the scene a year and a half ago. He's ripped through the top guys. He's been a champion that hasn't been very popular, you know, and I don't think that this is going to do wonders for his popularity. As far as the relationship with us, me and Lorenzo are both disgusted.
It's understandable. What about Chael?
Chael's a lunatic, you know. I called Chael, and Chael said I'll fly to Las Vegas tonight and fight him at Mandalay Bay or any other casino you would like me to fight him at.
And so you had no problem with that. You were going to put him in, done deal.
Yeah, I think, you know, did I think that the Chael Sonnen fight made sense as far as, you know, the title and everything else? No, but you know what? These guys have been talking smack back and forth to each other, and I thought it was a fight that people would be interested in, and Chael was the guy who accepted it. So I said, yeah, I'll make this fight. And Chael was pumped. Chael was excited for this fight. Chael told me that he's a mental midget, and he'll beat him mentally first. And he also told me, Chael said, tell John Jones there won't be any spinning back fists in this fight. Chael Sonnen only falls down once.
Do you think John Jones thought that he was going to lose this fight, and that's why he won't take it with anyone else? He's too scared to lose his belt?
I don't know. I don't know why a guy who was a world champion and considered by many one of the pound-for-pound best wouldn't fight anybody. I don't know the answer to that. It's baffling to me. I've never seen it before, and I don't know. And what I also said is Chael will not talk his way to the title. But the thing about Chael Sonnen is, you know, this is the type of guy that, you know, when things are normal and things are, you know, going the way they should go and guys aren't injured and guys are fighting, Chael Sonnen would have had to beat three nasty guys, you know, at least to get to John Jones. But when, you know, in the heat of the moment when things are going down, this is the guy that you pick up the phone and call, and he will fight anybody. This isn't a guy that just talks and shoots his mouth off. You know, a guy that other guys won't fight on short notice, Chael Sonnen says, I'll fight him tonight. You know, it's just, he's that kind of a person. He puts his money where his mouth is. He talks the craziest shit I've ever seen talked in the history of this sport, yet he goes out and delivers. He's willing to step up and fight. And I really respect that about the guy.
He didn't want to fight Machida a week ago, so how did you convince him to take that fight?
I can tell you this right now, he ain't turning down the Machida fight. If I get a call today that says he doesn't want to fight Machida, we'll have another conference call later this afternoon.
About what?
I'll have another media call, and it won't be good. Chael Sonnen would have showed up and fought his ass off and tried to win. You know what I mean? Chael Sonnen wants to be a world champion. Those are the kind of guys I like. Those are the kind of people that you, the fans, should like. These are guys that want to be world champions. They'll fight anybody. You fucking call them up. I called Chael right now and said that the fight was tonight. And I got a whole roster full of guys that are like that. You know what I mean? That will fight at the drop of a hat for any opportunity. Those are the guys that I like. Those are the guys that I respect. And those are the guys that built this company and this sport.
Dan, do you think that something has changed in John Jones? I mean, this is a guy that used to step up, and he took the fight against, Mauricio Shogun, who on very short notice, and now he's turning down fights. I mean, did something change?
Yep. Apparently.
And just one last thing. Greg Jackson was just on Mauro Ranallo's radio show, and he's saying that he's very confused by your comments. Do you have any follow-up?
I'm very confused by his whole fucking business plan. I don't give a shit what Greg Jackson thinks. Guy's a fucking weirdo, man. Are you kidding me? Turning down a fight, saying if he turns down a fight with Chael Sonnen, it'd be the biggest mistake. I mean, if he takes the fight with Chael Sonnen, it'd be the biggest mistake of his entire career because he's not ready for that guy. Greg Jackson should never be interviewed by anybody ever again except for a psychiatrist.